provincia, soy rancherita, soy muy humilde y de buen corazón. Soy provincia, soy rancherita, una vergüenza y no es rancho, porque hay en el rancho me siento mejor. Bonita la infancia y la adolescencia, bonito este tiempo que a mí ya pasó. Alegre jugar las canicas, la rayuelita y el tronco cambió. Cuando empieza el caso la ropa rojita, camisa de robetes yo le canto.
Okay. Well, I suppose that will do it for the music. You know, that was, those were a couple of Mexican girls singing there. I just absolutely love Mexican music. So I'm kind of looking forward to moving to Mexico, which we are going to be doing for this project. And from there, I'm going to actually be going to quite a few places in the world to work on the project, to get it going in many different places. All right. So that is the plan. So, but you got at least got to hear a little bit of the music I really like. All right. Well, so much for that. The title for tonight is just simply how to generate free energy without solar panels or windmills or any of those kind of things. Excuse me. Okay. So I want to share the screen for a bit here, because I'm going to go to our website. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I want to just show us a little bit here again how that this is a real benefit for all involved. Generating this energy is so much better than the system that we now rely on. Just today, twice our service was interrupted, and that happens so easily. It's actually been quite frequently the last while where the service was interrupted, and of course when that happens in the wintertime, well, there goes the heating, there goes, you know, all of cooking, and all of that is all the electricity is one of the well, it's something that we just pretty much have to use for everything. And that is, these days, even if you do have a gas stoves, they still require electricity in order to operate. And so that is why I am so, or part of the reason I am so passionate about this. Now, of course, I have also mentioned before that there are dangers that are involved with the smart meters that currently are on the houses. and these have been installed, well, I think in most countries. I really don't know how far they have gone with that, but it being part of the NATO's Agenda 21, it is very likely that they are installed in most countries. Now, I realize that we are right now in a time where there is quite a battle going on. And let me put it this way about this battle, that it isn't just a physical battle. We read in the scriptures, I again will quote, or not exactly quote, but I will just remind us of what we read in the scriptures about that it is about the spiritual warfare. This isn't just physical. This is spiritual. Uh, uh, Most of it is actually on the spiritual plane, and which is actually uh, most of humanity is at a huge disadvantage when it comes to spiritual powers in this sense, because we have been uh, we have been basically been lifted off the uh, surface, as it were, not physically but mentally. We've been directed to believe in something that's in the sky, and some god or some power that's up, way up in the sky, up in heaven. And we here on earth, we just pray to this power from up there to meet our needs down here. And that is completely erroneous, um, because the power isn't anywhere more than it is right down here where we are. The power is actually in our own thinking. Uh, it doesn't mean that that's the only place it exists, but we need to understand. We need to understand that when we are up against spiritual powers, these are powers of the mind. These are not powers of physical powers. These are powers of the mind. And in listening to the news and being scared of advances that they might gain, and maybe at times are gaining, or whatever the case is nothing but how should I say, but even handing even more power over to them. Okay. And so we are in a time where it's very, very important that we wake up spiritually. I'm going to just stop the screen share for a little bit here, so I can see what's going on in the chat, and I'm going to come back to it in a little while. Okay, so all right, just so that because I feel that I'm not quite ready to actually share the screen yet. So I'm just gonna bring it back for a bit. Here's this, and here's my. All right. So so because we are up against against a spiritual warfare, and this is not, they're not guns. Maybe there are guns involved too in certain places and certain parts of it, but where we have the strength to overcome the warfare that we are up against, we need to gain higher levels of of consciousness. What exactly does consciousness mean? Consciousness, we could basically say, well, it's understanding, but it goes deeper than just understanding. Understanding, of course, is very closely tied with consciousness, but uh, but it's when we understand that we can practice, practice the knowledge that we understand. We start practicing it, and that's what raises the consciousness. Okay, the consciousness is not just understanding. It is not. It is literally raising the spiritual bar, as it were, of our own powers. Okay, so it comes with practice. Now, you know, we must raise our consciousness, and the higher we raise our consciousness, the more we will enjoy life, because there is because we gain a deeper understanding of the life principle. We gain a clearer understanding of our own spiritual powers and possibilities. Now, there are levels of consciousness that we can gain by practicing, by understanding and practicing, and we really need to gain these levels of consciousness. Now, again, I would refer to the scriptures if I was, and I'm going to I'm going to refer to the scriptures a little bit here again because of this. Now, if those of you who are familiar with what the Bible says, who are familiar with Paul's writings, well, you likely know that he talks about a person, and he says whether he was in the body or without the body, whether he was, in other words, within the body, or was he beside his own body. He says that I cannot tell. Okay. Now, do we look at that? How do we at first glance, would we say that sounds creepy? Would we say that to be beside your body, be outside of yourself, that sounds like that sounds creepy, that sounds something like something you can't do? Well, uh, it is actually quite possible, and even necessary for us to reach those heights, those levels of consciousness, that we are able to do that. And we do know from the scriptures also that that fasting was done. Well, fasting is something that basically, I believe, most of humanity has dropped. But fasting actually happens to be one of the best cures for disease, because disease comes from toxins in the body. How do toxins get in the body? Well, from erroneous thinking, from erroneous thoughts, from a warped vortex, from allowing our thoughts just to wander off and not be in our own control, and thus run around thinking about all kinds of things where they actually have no business being. And so we need to gain control of our thoughts, so that they won't just run off. You see, your thoughts are very trainable. Your subconscious is very trainable. As I said a couple of days ago, that your conscious mind makes all the decisions, but has absolutely no power to carry out those decisions. It has no power to fulfill anything in your life. None of that can be done with your conscious mind, with your rational mind. But all of your decisions, what you like, what tastes good, what looks good, what sounds good, all of those decisions are all made on the conscious level of mind. Okay. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, runs 95% on autopilot, thinking all kinds of thoughts that you have earlier in life deemed to be true, that likely aren't, very likely are not true. And that is how the subconscious works. That is how it operates. Well, we need to gain control of that. So we must gain control of our subconscious mind by feeding it the right information, coming to the right conclusions of our thoughts. For instance, it is very easy for us to catch our thoughts, to catch our thinking, especially when we all of a sudden, when we feel kind of angry, we feel frustrated, we stop. When that happens, stop and catch your thoughts. Find out, ask yourself, why was I getting anxious? Why was I getting upset? What were my thoughts that were leading up to this? Do I need those thoughts? Are they serving me? Are they even true? Are they even my thoughts? Is it even something that I have even generated? And when we challenge them and we dismiss them, this only needs to happen just a few times, and those thoughts will be replaced with something, with habitual thoughts that we replace them with. You see, you can't just dismiss them and say, okay, well, now I have, because you'll have an empty vacuum. It can't be empty. You got to replace them with something positive. Okay. So the reason I went out here is because that's the world we live in. Now, there is really only one power, but it is used in two different ways, and mostly negative. The spiritual warfare that we are facing is negative thinking. It is negative. Okay. So how do we fix it? Where is this warfare? How do we battle it? You see, this is where it actually gets very easy. You don't have to fight anywhere outside of yourself. It's inside. It's inside. That's the only place you need to fight it. We say, well, what about all those evil people that have all these evil agendas? Listen. Here is where we need to understand how the world works. Here is where we need to understand how the world operates. How does the spiritual realm operate? You see, it's made up of the powers that we collective individuals are thinking. The more people wake up to the truth and take control of their own thinking, taking complete responsibility for their own lives, and begin wishing others all the blessings of life, no matter what they've done, no matter how they've treated you, absolutely makes no difference. You wish them all the best in every area of life. This is love. This is love. We must replace the selfishness from within, or that exists within, that idea that is me first, me this, me that, me. We must replace that with a love for humanity equally everywhere. It doesn't matter who it is. And when we replace our thoughts, our habitual thinking, when we have it replaced with a higher level of consciousness, we will live a joyful life. And a joyful life, listen, let me tell you this. Disease cannot exist in a body that is in a healthy mental state. A person who lives in happiness and does not allow his subconscious to run off with negative thinking, disease has no place in a body like that. Okay, now by raising our own consciousness, we are changing the torus in the world. That is the okay. And once we have and here's another thing that's actually in our huge advantage, that positive thinking, positive thoughts are thousands of times more powerful than negative. Okay, so imagine how much one person can do by just simply working on themselves to become a positive thinker. And this is more than just positive thinking. This is it's raising the level of your consciousness. Raising the level of your consciousness means the understanding of the spiritual power that is available to you, and you practice it. Okay, that's what raises the level of awareness. Okay, so let me go back to sharing the screen. I want to go further with that. Yes, that is great. Okay, so I will read through the chat later, but for now I want to, because I get distracted too easy and forget what I want. All right, so I'm going to share the screen again, and I want to show you where were we here? Oh, it's down here. Okay, so I want to show you something here. I want to show you something here on the information of this site here. Okay, so we figured that the idea of crowdfunding may be the most effective way to move ahead on this very large project. We decided that perhaps the best method in which we could approach this crowdfunding would be in a manner in which the donors or the participants would or could also gain wealth at the same time. Now, I know that in normal circumstances we think of you know, a participating in a project that, when in a financial way, that we then you know, we give up our money, which we then really hope that it will go to, you know, to a worthwhile cause, which in many cases it's not, and which makes us responsible for putting money into something that is actually contrary to life. Now, while I'm on that subject, I'm just going to inject right here that organizations like what is it again? The World Vision. World Vision. Isn't it World Vision that uh, it's World Vision that has, yeah, that always does these commercials on TV about, yeah, that's World Vision. Well, for those who are willing and ready to donate to World Vision, I would encourage you very much that you actually do research, and I mean proper research, to find out who runs that, and to find out where actually that money goes. Because I think you will be very, very shockingly surprised that it is not operating. It is not operated by the people that you may have thought it was, and the money certainly does not go where you thought it did. So, and that's what I mean by being responsible. That we are confident. We know the people. We know what these people have in mind. We know their passion for what they are doing. We you know we feel their energy. We not just on the surface, oh, this is such a compelling commercial, and so now it's time for me to give. Well, uh, if we do well to remember the smoke and mirror system that we're living in, and that it just might not be what we think it is. All right, so now if we please take your time to understand the following. Okay, cryptocurrencies have played quite a role in derailing the debt-based central banking system, which has been the culprit for enslaving humanity over the course of the past 150 or so years. But there is one particular outstanding cryptocurrency. I wonder what that might be, which actually has its value based or backed by the price of gold. And if we click on that, it opens up in a new browser or a new tab, and that's one of the it's it is the article where admin announced that we were going to gold. Okay, so that's where that goes. And then we have the billion coin, and that also goes to an article that tells us. Okay, so again, here we have quite the information on that page as well. And our mission statement, you likely all know that. I hope so, anyways. If you're on this broadcast, if you're not, then I really, really encourage you that you go and read that mission statement. Okay. Now, okay, so we go on and we say here we accept TBC. We accept TBC donations in values 25 to 100 USD. Now I had somebody donate or somebody donated and I believe they wanted to donate 100 USD, which maybe I misprinted it here. Maybe I made a mistake of making it a limit to just 100. But my point here right now is that when it's under 100, it doesn't qualify for a TBC coin, which in the case that of the donation that I received, that doesn't mean I'm not grateful. I am. That, yeah, absolutely, that's great. It's still it's still a good amount of money. What I'm saying is that I believe the person intended that it would be 100 US dollars, which actually it was a few dollars short, and in which case it does actually not qualify for a TBC coin, which I believe he had intended. But it's okay. I'm not I have no complaints about it. But what I am saying is that you know, whether that was intentionally or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But I'm just believing that he would have liked to have it, that it would be a coin, which it's not quite, but that's okay. So basically what I'm saying is that if you want to do a donation and you want to uh, you know, you want it to be worth a coin, then you just may want to double check to make sure that it is you know, at least $100, so that it is the amount that you wish it was, or you would like it to be. Okay, that's all. Okay, so we accept TBC donation, as I said. Okay, so and now values that are 200 USD and more. Okay, 200 USD and more, up to 100,000 in USD. We accept in USD or Canadian dollar, Bitcoin Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Um, actually, I have to get a couple of those wallets working to have all of these, because I think I know Dash isn't on there right now, but I do have Ethereum on there instead. Not instead, but it's Ethereum on there. I'm going to add probably one or two more for those who want to you know, participate by giving cryptocurrencies. Okay, so we will then give back 100% of the donation amount in TBC to the donor. So here, this is what I wanted to point out to you, that when you donate, like you donate $200 for those of you who are broadcasters, you donate 200 USD, you will end up with $200 worth of TBC. Okay, the reason I set it up like this is because we need fiat at this point. We need fiat to get the ball rolling, and so I'm making it so that it is very beneficial for people to participate. Okay, so so I mean, literally, I am completely funding it from my own TBC in this sense. Okay, but I do need the fiat. This is why I am asking you people who, if you know, if you would like some more TBC coin, here is a wonderful way to get it. And you are, at the same time, you are helping, you're helping out on this project that, now, I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, I believe it's a very important project. Okay, so if this idea is a bit confusing to you, which, well, if it is, then please read this post. Okay, now let me actually go there, because what is it, right? This post explains about the cookie rewards program. Okay, so that's what this is, and that's why I figured that if I put this information in there, if people don't know for sure what I'm talking about, by reading that post, it would help them understand that I'm talking about the cookie rewards program and how that works, and how well they can be you know, how much money they will actually make on account of this. Okay, so the idea will make a lot of sense when you understand the TBC cookie rewards program. If you are sure you understand TBC enough. Now let's see where did I link this to. Okay, now here I am giving them the information that they're going to need to create their new wallet. Okay, So that's where this leads. And then that you are ready to get your wallet, which will cost you a one-time $10 USD wallet fee. You can do so here. Let's see where that goes. Right. So this is where the wallet is. This is the link to the wallet. Okay. And then you need to pay the wallet fee using Bitcoin. If dealing with Bitcoin is too complicated for you, here is a different way. I think this might actually lead to a page that, oh, okay, yeah, it actually does work. I am currently actually not using CryptoTBC and my other under my videos links because because I found I mean, I wanted to put a membership site on here. I want to install a membership site or make this into a membership site for the purpose of the platform that that Pedro and I have been talking about. You know, the platform to bridge the gap between the TBC wallet and the marketplace. Okay, so that is the plan with this, and so now I actually use a different site that it is quite similar to this, but it's John Harder. So I'm going to be changing that link on this website to lead to that instead. All right, so well, now at least I found that I have the wrong link in here. So I'll be fixing that after I done this hangout. So, and then of course, you know, I just have a little bit of a footnote here. The greatest loss a person can take is losing out on a great opportunity. And this usually happens due to not understanding it well enough. If you have any questions, please contact us here. Well, let's see where that is. Okay. Oh, that is the that is my Telegram link. Okay. So maybe I'll put the contact form from this. That's what I'll do. I'll put the contact form on that link, the page with the contact form from this site. Okay. So all right. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about. Now I'm just gonna go back and to our regular screen. Oh, that's all set already. So let's go back here and stop the share. Okay. Okay. So here I have showed you what what my intentions are on about this program. Now, I'm going to in the future have a secure communication system on there, and I believe I will also create because it's going to eventually be a store for the electronic. I mean the electrical units, and because there's actually a few different kinds that we're going to be making. And so all of that is going to be available on the website later on, but that will show up once once we have the ball rolling, that that we are at a place where we will not need the donations anymore, because the plan is that we get this project self-sustainable as quickly as we can. Okay, so that is the plan. The plan. We don't want to be asking people for assistance for a long time. We want to get the move on, get it going, and then we will be selling the units, which then is going to help so that we will it will become a store as opposed to uh, asking for input. As I also uh, pointed out to you, that that the only thing that you people are helping me with is the fact that we need fiat. We are actually funding the project ourselves. It's just that I need fiat. TBC, I have plenty. Um, of course, I mean, the smaller donations that people who do give with NTBC, that's great. I am grateful for that. Um, However, at this point, we need fiat. Okay, so I I welcome your input. Now, uh, I'm going to also be putting more information and more detail on the site. But here's the thing: I am not putting much information on the site at this point because I'm going to be making it into a membership site, and the information that I'm going to have on there is going to be for members only. Okay. Um, uh, so that way, I want to have it so that we can communicate on the site, and that those who want to participate and so on, because I want to have nothing hidden. Nothing is going on that's hidden. Okay, everything is going to be out on the open for everybody who participates. All right. So it's not like I'm trying to get people's money, and then I'm gonna disappear somewhere, or that's. I hope you trust me that that is not what I am all about. Okay. Um, because I do have a passion for helping people, and I believe this is such a great thing, that there are so many people who don't even have access to electricity. And wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if we can provide that for them? You know, so many of these units, they're not even going to be sold. People who just can't afford it and don't have anything, I'm going to be giving them to them. I'm going to be giving them to them. But on the site, it will be a store where people can buy them. Okay, so and of course, people who have the means. And of course, as I have mentioned before, TBC is going to be the project. Oh, and that's actually right. I said I'm giving it to them. Actually, that is not the case, because they're going to be buying them with TBC. Okay, because that's the option that I'm going to be giving them. If they don't have any money, well, then get a TBC wallet with the gift, and then you can buy it with TBC. All right. So that's really the plain and simple of it. All right. Now, there is a lot more information that I would like to give you, and I will do this now and then. I will share a little bit more deeper, um, as I keep on doing these broadcasts, and also as I develop more on the site, and get the project moving. Okay, so I know there are a few people that I need to contact already, that to get further with this project. Um, and so once I do that, and we have, and I'm going to keep you people in on it. All right. Of course, you will need to sign up to the membership site in order to be on top of what we're doing. But as you do that, you know you can be up to date all the time as to how things are and what's going on. All right. So with that said, let me just for those of you who are watching this video and aren't sure what this free energy unit is that I was talking about, or even what I was talking about earlier, the spiritual warfare that we are in right now, uh, I would be happy to discuss it more in detail with you if you have questions about anything that I've said, and if you need further clarification, I'd be happy to give you more understanding on these things. Okay, so and also in TBC, if you want to know what we're really all about, I would say, visit the links below and educate yourself. Why are we doing what we're doing, and what exactly are we doing? And then tune in to what we're doing, and I believe that if you have a passion at all for helping people, and you tune in to what we're all about, I think you will find that our hearts practically beat as one. Okay, so with that said, I want to, oh, actually I'm going to go through and see who's all here. Romeo, thank you. I appreciate very much. um, the video that you had made, I hadn't thought of an idea like that, but I think that is a brilliant idea. What you were saying in that video, I really appreciate ideas like that. It's awesome. um, Now really all we need to do is work, get more people interested, get the ball rolling, right? And before you know it, we'll be in this project all over the world. Okay. All right. So thank you, and thank you, Stephen Cuffey, as well. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. It's awesome to have you here. Margie Harder, thank you also very much for moderating for me. And Krypton. Ah, it's great to have you here. I know I've seen your handle before. I imagine this is your uh, uh, YouTube channel. Um, but so I don't really know your name, but it's great to have you here. It's awesome. And so Krypton, I'm sorry. And I don't see him here. Oh, Bitcoin Scott. Thank you also. Thank you very much for hanging out with me as well. I truly appreciate it. And Steve. Who? Yeah, I must have not scrolled down far enough yet, huh? Why don't I? Oh, there. Okay, Mahalko as well. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate every one of you.
John's name is Christian.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for telling me your name. That's great. It's awesome to have you, Christian.
People want your Telegram ID.
Okay. All right. I'll post it. I'll post my Telegram ID here. It is on my website too, but that's okay. Okay. I made a new channel for this video, but I'm going to just use it because I'm not quite sure if. So I'm gonna. There we go. And here, and okay. So there's my Telegram link, and so that you can contact me. That'll be great to get a dialogue going about it. That'd be awesome. All right. So thank you ever so much for hanging out with me again. I really appreciate it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have as well. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening or morning or whatever it is for you, and truly enjoy.